Well, welcome. We are at Churchkey in Northwest with Greg Engert, who's the beer director for the neighborhood restaurant group. Own a bunch of great restaurants in the area. A number of them specialize in beer. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this weekly feature with us.
My pleasure.
Tell us, we're just going to get right into it. We're talking about a holiday beer here. What do we got?
Well, this is Great Lakes Christmas Ale. It's probably one of the most sought-after beers of this season. Every year, people are just clamoring for it. It's a wonderful beer. This is from Great Lakes Brewing Company in Cleveland, Ohio. They've been crafting amazing American ales and lagers since 1988, but just recently came to Washington, D.C., so this is kind of a new beer on the scene, even still. What's crazy about this beer is it's actually a huge part of their production. They make it for 7 weeks of the year, but they make something like 35,000 barrels, which is the equivalent of almost 70,000 kegs of this beer, because people love it, and not much of it gets out of Ohio itself. So we're really lucky to have it here. And what makes it special is how well integrated the flavors are. We've got this beautiful, rich malty character. It's kind of like dark, bready, sweet, a little bit of caramelization. They brew it with a ton of fresh ginger and fresh cinnamon, but this isn't overpowering. It works its way in. It doesn't just taste like a spiced drink.
Right. A lot of people think some of these Christmas ales are too spicy.
Too spicy, exactly. Yeah. So if it smells of ginger on one hand, then the next sip tastes like dark bread. So it's not an overwhelming thing. And altogether, 7.5% is incredible because it's kind of dangerous. It doesn't taste like 7.5% at all. Great with food, great with desserts. It can go with just about anything. What I like with dessert is that it's not chocolatey on its own. So if you do it with something that is chocolatey, it brings a nuance of like caramel, like a drizzle of toffee or something, and some spices to the dessert, to the dish. It also is great with darker meats, like with lamb, maybe with some steaks and beef or roast and things like that.
My wife is from Cleveland. I know they go crazy for this stuff up there, waiting all year long for it. And you're going to be doing something special next week in the holiday spirit involving this beer?
Absolutely, yeah. We stashed away one of our kegs. It's really difficult to find on draft, so we stashed away a keg. Monday, December 12th, up here in Churchkey, we're featuring at least 24 different holiday beers on draft. This will be one of them. And the other cool thing is it's also going to be a coat drive and fundraiser for Martha's Table, which is a great organization here in Logan Circle that benefits the poor during the holiday season.
So is there anything you recommend people look for in particular when they try any type of beer, or just sip it first and see what you get? Yeah, no,
I think that when you're approaching any of these beers, I think the best thing first is to swirl it up as much as you can. You never want to fill the glass all the way either, because you need space for the aromas to kind of trap themselves so you can actually smell the beer, because 99.9% of what we're tasting is aroma. So I always like to kind of take a look at the beer, look at the color, kind of start anticipating some flavors, and then get right in there.
The aroma is inviting, to say the least.
Yeah. It's got that. It's just great how it's got that beautiful spicy note, but then it's got almost like a pie crust kind of thing to it. But it's not, it's some of those like pumpkin ales that we taste are like pumpkin pie in a glass, and that's all it is. This is a little bit more nuanced. It's almost got like a fruitcake idea to it, but then spices. It's a lot of different things all at once, I think.
At Churchkey, I know you have the beer lines are set at certain temperatures for different beers, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you don't want everything in an ice chest overnight.
No. I would
what would you recommend for this one?
This one's one of those great beers for kind of in between. I mean, we don't like to serve anything really much colder than, say, 42 degrees. This I like at a chilled temperature in the mid-range of the 40s, like 45, 48 or so. While it's definitely complex, having it a little bit warmer will release those aromas, but it's not something that's so rich and heavy that it should be served at cellar temperature or something like that. I mean, a slight chill on it is really nice. Kind of keeps it fresh on the palate.
What's the best way for people to find out about events coming up like the one involving this?
I think one of the best ways to do that is to go to our website for Birch and Barley, www.birchandbarley.com. Also, if you follow at Churchkey D.C. on Twitter, or like our Facebook page for Churchkey. We are really up to date all the time on the events that are coming up, and we're constantly doing events all the time as well.
Okay. Greg Engert, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.